Prince William made a heartfelt visit to the Royal Berkshire Hospital on March 5th, returning to the very place where his wife, Kate Middleton, was born. But this wasn't just a routine royal engagement. His visit marked a solemn anniversary and a powerful tribute to the heroes of the National Health Service. Exactly 5 years have passed since the world was turned upside down by the COVID-19 pandemic. The Prince of Wales, deeply connected to the healthcare workers who sacrificed so much, chose this moment to honor their resilience. As a patron of NHS Charities Together, an organization that has played a critical role in supporting frontline workers, he visited the hospital to witness firsthand the impact of the funds raised during the crisis. Royal Berkshire Hospital is not only significant because it welcomed Princess Kate into the world in January 1982, but it also became a tragic landmark in the pandemic, as it was the site of the UK's first COVID-19 related death in March 2020. The stark contrast between life and loss in the same place added a layer of emotional depth to William's visit. During the height of the pandemic, NHS Charities Together launched an urgent appeal to raise funds for essential supplies, additional staff support, and volunteer efforts. The response was staggering. Within just 5 days, the charity had raised more than $19 million, £15 million. By the time the crisis began to subside, a total of $200 million, £160 million, had been collected, transforming hospitals across the country with resources that helped both patients and medical staff endure one of the most challenging times in modern history. Kensington Palace revealed that nearly 2/3 of NHS workers benefited from the funds, with initiatives providing counseling services, rest spaces, and community outreach programs. The impact of these efforts continues to be felt, long after the initial wave of the pandemic faded. This wasn't the first time William and Kate had visited the hospital together. Back in December 2020, during a grueling 1,250-mile journey across the UK, the couple made a stop at Royal Berkshire to connect with healthcare professionals and thank them for their dedication during the most intense phases of the pandemic. One of the most enduring legacies of that effort is the continuation of 90% of the projects that were initially set up to support healthcare workers. Among them is the Oasis Health and Wellbeing Centre and its accompanying garden at Royal Berkshire Hospital. The tranquil space was designed to offer medical staff a much-needed sanctuary, a place where they could take a break, recharge, and care for their own mental and emotional well-being after experiencing the relentless pressure of the pandemic. The gardens and met with staff members who worked tirelessly throughout the crisis. The weight of the moment was undeniable. He spoke with those who have found comfort in the Wellbeing Center, listened to their stories, and acknowledged the incredible strength they have displayed in the face of adversity. But perhaps the most poignant part of his visit was when he stood before 2 trees planted in memory of NHS staff members who lost their lives while serving during the pandemic. Dr. Peter Tunn and Nurse Julie Edward made the ultimate sacrifice, and their legacy now lives on in a quiet corner of the hospital's garden. Standing before these living tributes, William took a moment to reflect on the personal toll of the crisis, reminders that behind every statistic was a real person with a story, a family, and a community that mourned their loss. Kate, who is also a patron of NHS Charities Together, has played an active role in supporting long-term health initiatives that stemmed from the pandemic response. Among them is one of the UK's first-ever long COVID clinics, which was partially funded by the charity. These clinics have provided a lifeline to those still suffering from the lingering effects of COVID-19, offering specialized medical care to help them recover. William's visit to Royal Berkshire Hospital wasn't just about honoring the past. It was about recognizing the ongoing challenges that healthcare workers face and ensuring that their sacrifices are never forgotten. As the world moves forward, the legacy of the pandemic remains deeply embedded in places like this hospital, where life, loss, and resilience are all interwoven into its very foundation. With each conversation, each moment of reflection, and each tribute paid to those who gave everything, William's visit served as a reminder that while the crisis may have passed, its impact will never be erased.